goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will.
Welcome to Perspective, a podcast for wedding creatives, where we sit down, often with a special guest, and talk about our many years of experience in the wedding industry so you can learn from us and grow your wedding business. Hello, my name is Simon.
And I'm Greg.
Together,
my name is
we are
Maria.
Cinemate. I'll get to you in a minute. Together, we are Cinemate Films, two Scottish-based wedding filmmakers who love nothing more than drinking coffee and talking shop with others in the wedding industry. This episode is, of course, sponsored by With Jack and Pick Time, but I will get onto that later in the show. Greg, who are we talking to today?
We are talking to Maria, as she said already.
Hello, Maria.
Hello,
How you
Maria.
doing?
We can finish it now. Actually, it's the first podcast in my life, so you need to be patient with me.
We're honoured.
Wow. Oh, yes, thank you very much for joining us. That's now, like Greg said before we hit record, it's very casual, so don't worry. Very casual. And it
I'm
should be
not
fun.
worried. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So why don't you just start by introducing yourself to our listeners as a person, not your work, just who are you?
I don't know. First word comes to my mind that I'm a photographer, but obviously I'm not one of those photographers who grew up with a camera in their hands. So I lived my entire life without thinking about photography at all.
Mhm.
I was born and raised in Russia, Moscow, and I graduated from law department, but I did it for my parents' sake. And by the end of my study, I realized I wouldn't do it as a profession. So I tried many things in life. I explored some fields, and I studied psychology. And we moved countries. I lived in India for a while,
Oh, wow.
even. And when we ended up in Miami, I was feeling lost. I wanted to try doing something meaningful. And one day I just saw an online post that a newborn photographer was looking for assistant, unpaid.
Okay.
And I thought, why not? And this day totally changed my life, literally, because I remember feeling that I was witnessing some miracle, because the baby had been in their mother 5 days before, and we got to pose them and make something beautiful with it. And since then, I started taking some courses, studying, and I continued helping her. And by the time we moved to Canada, Toronto, I was ready to open my first newborn studio. And it lasted 8 years. It was pretty successful. I loved it. And a few months ago, I sold it as a fully operated business with props, outfits, equipment, clients, everything, to another photographer. And I'm just fully focused on women's portraiture now. I started experimenting with this field like 3 or 4 years ago. And now I'm fully focused on this another studio I have. So this is it.
Wow.
Would this
Just
be
sold the business. Wow. That's congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
is.
Thank you. It's very
I
So
mean, to be
what prompted the sale of that? Like, what made you decide to go and sell that business and focus on the women's portraits?
because I was torn between those two paths, and they're so different. And by that time, I felt stuck a little bit in newborn field, because I didn't have that passion anymore. And to grow further, you need to have this interest. And I kind of lost it. And the business was pretty stable. bringing me a few clients per week, but my heart wasn't there. And by that time, I had this studio already for 2 years, and they needed more attention because I'm not only photographing here. I rented out to other photographers. We host some meetings, events, workshops here, and I teach online and offline. So my passion was already here. So the decision was tough. I was crying like 2 days in a row because I don't know, I didn't know what to expect. And when I just was starting newborn business, I thought it would be my passion for the entire life, like a mission. Because having those 5, 6 days old babies, you think about yourself as a provider of something memorable, meaningful for the parents, something. And I thought I wouldn't be able to live a day without it. But now I'm totally happy. I don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
Because I
Do
used
you
to
have
be
kids?
full
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
kids.
interrupt. I think I'm dealing with a delay here, but
Yeah, maybe. That's why I'm not using headphones because ChatGPT told me if I use it, the delay will be even more.
are you do you have kids of your own? Was that part of your journey
Kids.
with
They aren't kids anymore. They are like not kids. My older one is almost 21. She's turning 21 on
Wow.
Saturday. And another one is 15. 2 girls.
Interesting.
2 girls
It
is
was
difficult. You guys have kids?
yes,
Just
I
the
have
one.
3.
Or boys, girls?
You go first, Greg.
Boys, girls?
I've got one boy for me.
And I got 2
Boys,
boys and a girl.
boys are much easier. You just feed them and forget about them. Girls are, you always have some drama in the house. Someone's crying, stealing your clothes, and I don't know, always unhappy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel that at the moment with my oldest being 13. It's quite quite a lot of drama. Was your
Yeah.
did your work and your own motherhood like was that the catalyst for moving on, would you say, from shooting children?
Are you asking if having children moved me towards doing newborn photography?
Yeah, I mean, and as well away, because obviously as your kids grow older, maybe your passion for the newborn stuff moved with it.
No, I desperately wanted to have another baby, like a third child, and it just
Wow.
didn't happen. And honestly, I thought that having those little babies almost every day at work would make me feel happier. So no, it didn't move me towards ending this career or something. No, it's the opposite. I was happy having these connections every day to witness this. No, and I don't think my kids uh, impacted in any way in my career choices. I'm just the kind of person who tries everything every day, something new. And honestly, I don't think that photography is my final career. And Canada probably is not my last place to live. So this is just
Oh, really? I'm intrigued. Do you have another passion on the horizon that you're kind of dabbling in that makes you feel that way?
uh, not that I have something like a plan, no, but now I'm leaning towards educating or at least combining those two things, and it's happening already. And I want to travel more, maybe doing some intimate workshops for photographers, something, and I don't know, maybe creating some. Mm, mixed media photography with something else. I don't know.
Very
Something.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. But for the time being, you are still doing the portraiture work. So let's talk about that. We I think I mentioned to you that we were speaking to Jennifer Moore, and your name got mentioned, and this is how I discovered your work, and it was quite a lovely just time spent going through your portfolio and your work. So much so that I obviously had to reach out. But can you tell me more about why women's portraiture was the next step for you?
It's obviously it's just the best that could happen because I
Okay.
tried I tried couples, and when you
Mhm.
photograph couple, you always have this moment when you realize that he doesn't want to be there. He was
Oh.
forced to
No,
guys,
I
guys,
know. Men.
that's true. And I love building this intimate connections with my clients. So
Hmm.
families wouldn't work for me. Weddings, no, I can't work every Saturday and Sunday. Just not for me. And I'm not that organized and responsible to, mm, I don't know, to carry someone's memory with 5,000 pictures. No, I can lose them. No, it's just not. So
Yeah.
women, just because I started doing couples,
Hmm.
and actually I liked it. It wasn't that bad, but when I just tried having this intimate shoot with a woman, when you
Hmm.
witness how she opens up and how happy she is when she sees the result. And yeah, this is the feeling. And it's something more than just the pictures. It's
Hmm.
not only about photography, it's the entire process of connecting, communicating, getting her ready, removing her doubts, something like this. It's
Hmm.
everything from the beginning
Yeah.
to the end.
Okay. Can you tell me if you can remember more about Jennifer Moore's shoot that you did with her?
She was amazing. And honestly, there is a problem in portraits photography. Some people hire a photographer expecting to see the magic no matter what.
Mm.
They think that a photographer responsible for bringing that beautiful, cool result
Hmm.
without them participating in full. And some clients underestimate that fact that a photographer cannot show something that doesn't exist on the picture.
Hmm.
I can operate the lighting. I can bring my expertise, my skills, and I use equipment. And I'm responsible for the wardrobe. I teach them how to pose.
Mm.
I do whatever. But if there is no energy, the magic just doesn't happen. And Jennifer, one of those people who realizes this, or maybe she's that easygoing person in the real life, because when she just
Hmm.
came in, it clicked, and I knew for sure that we will get something beautiful. And
Hmm.
there is another thing. I constantly meet beautiful women, young, attractive, but they criticize themselves, and sometimes they aren't happy with the result. And when I
Mm.
was younger as a photographer, I always took it as my own fault. Now I can differ. I can see where it's my responsibility or it's theirs.
Mm.
And what I wanted to say that if a woman treats the shoot as a game, as something new, like an experience. She's ready to
Hmm.
play, explore something new. We will get the beautiful result. And this is exactly what happened with Jennifer. We
Hmm.
just laughed, and they was so. But guys, I don't know what she told you. About it.
I I actually can't remember. Well, the main takeaway from me, because I can't remember exactly, because it was a few months ago, weeks ago. Anyway, the main takeaway is that you work very differently. Originally, I had confused you with one of our seconds because when I looked at your work, I felt the emotion behind it. But having seen Jennifer and how she moves and directs and talks to models or couples, I knew that, so I was intrigued to hear more about more of the practical side of how you approached a project, but you were still able to get such emotional imagery, much in the same way as Jennifer, but your ways of working were very different. So I kind of just wanted to touch on that. Just how do you work when someone comes through your door? Do you have an idea in mind? Are you directing? Like, bring me into your world for a shoot. How do you approach a shoot?
It doesn't start with them coming into this door. It starts when they just first time texting me. And after they book the shoot, I stay connected, talking to them all the time, WhatsApp, and answering their questions. I get them fully prepared, and we discuss the outfits. I can recommend some beauty professionals if needed. So we talk all the time. So by the time we actually meet, we are almost friends. I think this is the key, honestly, guys, because they aren't afraid. Just, just imagine being in front of some stranger, expecting to reveal your, I don't know, your your body, your soul, everything. So
Yeah.
it's impossible if you are not a professional model or actress or a dancer, right? People come, they are lawyers, I don't know, any profession. Aren't creatives, they aren't professional models, something. So to be able to open up, to treat it as a game, as I said, they need to be comfortable in front of me. So when they came, and the second thing, we drink champagne.
Okay.
But as a photographer, I'll tell you, for us women, you only can have one or two glasses because after that, your face is going. So there is a,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I control this part. So we sit here. I have beautiful lounge area. We sit, we talk, and then we start choosing the outfits and everything. I have a studio wardrobe. They can dive in and choose something. So this makes the entire atmosphere like easy, relaxed, something. This is the key. I really believe. But obviously, everyone is different, and I bring my entire soul and all my skills to every shoot. But the outcome is different every time because sometimes women aren't comfortable in their bodies. This happens. They feel disconnected, and my abilities are limited here. Sometimes that
Yeah.
happens.
Is that maybe sometimes why like women are coming to you to get their photo shoot done, is to try and see themselves through your art and then feel better about their body? Does that happen sometimes?
That's what they tell me. I think there is a reason why they choose me in the first place, because I run social media, right? They see what I do, how I talk, what I choose, because I'm very straightforward person. Coming here, they are ready to see themselves through my eyes, through my lenses, through my life experience. And yeah, that's what they say. But sometimes they aren't ready because I think in every shoot, every woman, um, I shoot myself. I shoot what I like, what I do, what I prefer. It's
Mm-hmm.
always my taste and my choice. This is what they
Hmm.
get at the end.
Yeah. So when we've spoken to some other studio portraiture photographers, they've mentioned more of a collaboration. And I'm intrigued, obviously, with what you've just said. Like, how much of an input did they have with, however, like whatever direction the project goes in? Like, how much is that a collaboration, if at all?
Listen, they bring their personality, and
Mhm.
it exists during the entire shoot. What I direct is outfit choices because I'm a professional. They don't know our little details, and
Mhm.
I'm the one who needs to explain them why we need some longer silhouettes because it works best with every body type, why we need to shoot here in this part of the studio because here's the best
Mhm.
lighting, and this is my responsibility. But their
Yeah.
personality, I don't touch it. That's why some pictures are more emotional, others are more dramatic, something can be very light and airy. This is their part, and in
Mhm.
when we come to this point, I don't touch it. I just witness it, and I direct only the mechanical part. Be here, move a little bit. What kind of music do we want to play right now? What's your
Mhm.
mood? So in here, the collaboration happens.
Yeah. Okay. And there, does that direction form when you're talking, like before the session starts, when you're messaging, or do you have an idea that you kind of try and fit them into? Like, if say you're trying to match energies, or you're thinking, I'm speaking to a powerful woman here. I want a powerful portrait, but and then how much do you get to play around with the images that you create? You know.
As I said, everything begins with the conversation. When they
Mm.
reach me out, I ask, "What's the occasion? Why you
Mhm.
decided to do a shoot? Why me?" And this is where I understand what they expect from the shoot. Sometimes I don't do branding, I don't do headshots. Obviously,
Mm.
they need something kind of emotional and about themselves. Uh, I don't do anything for websites or something professional, So it's
Mhm.
always about them. And they love to tell me about their personalities, what they
Yeah.
do, what they expect. Sometimes there are such a powerful story behind the decision to come to a shoot, and it's not always happy place, because you guys
Mhm.
do weddings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I think this is something different because women come, you can imagine maybe she want to celebrate herself, her beauty. No, it's not always, because
Mm.
sometimes I photograph women and it happened a few times before them having chemo or surgery, or once we had a shoot 2 days after she found out that her boyfriend or even fiance cheated on her. And believe it or not,
Mm.
she did the shoot on purpose. She wanted to memorize herself in this state. And she was like a stone. She didn't want to open up. She didn't want to cheer up herself. And I didn't do anything. I didn't bother to make her happy, something. We
Mhm.
did this. She was almost crying, and it happens all the time. So that's why I ask at the beginning, what do you expect? What do you want from the shoot? How do you picture yourself? And
Mhm.
I always ask them to send me some references, but from my work.
Mhm.
In terms of seeing what mood are they after. not some other references from other photographers. If they do that, I always say, like, please don't send me any other photographers' references, just because it's impossible to recreate some others' work, and you will be disappointed. And because first reason is that everyone's body is different, and the way you can pose the same way, but 1 inch difference is in the length of the legs, and picture looks different. And then another thing which is much more important is the energy, and you can't recreate it. So that's why I always explain that what we get at the end will be something unique just for you.
We're going to interrupt this podcast to bring you an advertisement for PickTime. Our buddies at PickTime, we love PickTime. If you want to elevate your business, PickTime's maybe the way to do it.
It's an online gallery delivery service.
It's a really good looking one, which is initially how we got into the service. It just looks better than all the other kind of platforms that we personally use.
Yeah, we've over time got to know the owners, got to know the people behind it. Lovely people, great support system there as well.
There's just so many tools at your fingertips with PickTime, but the marketing and the blogs and the slideshow features.
Yeah, there's so much more than just a gallery delivery service. You've got all those things that Simon's talking about. You can create your own blog from it. You can create slideshows. One new feature that I really love is the vendor network. It's where you can use AI to curate a gallery for a specific supplier. So you could use AI to gather all the photos of the flowers and send them to the florist, and they would have that gallery specific just for them.
It's kind of a mind-blowing feature.
Yeah.
And we might as well be taking advantage of AI before the uprising and it starts taking advantage of us. So let's just all bear that in mind.
Yeah, and not to mention the built-in store, and that way you can just make more money while also having a nice, aesthetically pretty gallery.
Yeah. And if you want to sign up today, you can get a free month if you use Perspective at checkout.
Yeah.
So if you want to test it out for free for a month, go for it.
Take your business to the next level with PickTime.
I really admire the exploration there and just willingness to allow your client to sit and feel something, and then in order to capture that moment in time. I think that's a pretty brave thing, because it's, I mean, well, I don't want to say, like, you're creating art. I always think of that, like, the balance between creating art and having a business, and those two sides of a skill set kind of colliding sometimes. But I feel like you have a very good balance. But yeah, I there was one thing that you said a little while ago. I think you said it. It might have been Greg actually, but it struck me. People, like, have you ever had a person who would come to your studio because of your work, but then struggle with images of themselves? And how do you pull out good images or certain feelings or moods when that is the case? Because you are obviously creating your art, but you are doing it for a client. So how do you balance all that?
First of all, I'm very happy I'm now at the place where I can fully understand where is my skills and where is their perception of themselves. And 2-3 years ago, every shoot which I wasn't satisfied with, I treated like my fault. I didn't do something wrong. Now I can differ. And actually, there were 2 sessions in my life that I can share about them that wasn't that successful. One of them was a couple of years ago. Young mother approached, like, saying, I want a mom and baby, and this is
Mhm.
one of my favorite shoots. I don't do couples anymore. I don't do mom with 3, 5 kids. It's just not for me. But mom and baby bonding, like breastfeeding, something very intimate. I love it, and I do it. And she said, I want to be like seen by you through your eyes, something. I adore your art, something. And I was so happy with the result. I can't tell, guys. I was really happy, like almost crying when I was editing her pictures. And she was beautiful, skinny. Am I allowed to say this about women? Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, she was beautiful in every way, and we did those intimate. Baby was like 9 something months old. She was carrying him that very close, and I thought, wow, I would love to have something like this. And when she received the pictures, she said, I hate them, I don't want them, I don't like them. And finally I returned her the money, the payment in full, just because I didn't want to argue or something. And the reason was, she said, I didn't want to look like that. I saw her very powerful, wearing oversized man's blazer with long, beautiful legs, holding the baby, and she's like open to the world. And she said she pictured herself being very, in some modest way, and she didn't explain it to me during the shoot. So I think this was the misunderstanding. I still think that the pictures were beautiful, and something like this can happen. And I think this is just lack of articulation, explaining and talking through the process. And another experience was even worse. We had a great time. The lady was fully prepared. We were drinking champagne. Everything went smoothly until the moment I decided to lift her spirits even more, and I showed her preview on my camera. And
Oh,
there,
okay.
where I lost her totally, and I couldn't do anything. And the picture I was showing her was beautiful in every way. Because I'm very straightforward. If I don't like something, why would I show it, right? So I
Yeah, of
picked
course.
one of the most beautiful pictures. See, look how beautiful you are, something like that. And she's like, ah, no. And she explained me why not. And there were things that didn't even exist, but it triggered her like doubts, and she totally lost the mood until the end of the shoot. And finally we got the pictures with the beautiful form, but with this lack of energy. She wasn't there. She wasn't present there, and she didn't take them, unfortunately. But when she looked at the pictures, she sent me the message saying, "Thank you so much. The best work you did, everything." But this shoot got me to the point that I decided I need to lose weight, and now after 3 months, I am the best version of myself. Thank you so much. But she didn't like the pictures. It was her point. I can't affect this. If someone can't accept themselves, there is nothing you can do with it, because I adore everyone. I can find beauty in everyone.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you about body standards there, because you mentioned, well, you correlated beauty with being skinny, and that was like, oh, interesting, because we've had a few
Just my
guests
type.
on. No, I know, no, it's fine. We've had a few guests on. Terry Hofford kind of comes to mind, and she well, does she shoot? I'm trying to remember if she actually shoots still or if she's gone full on into writing. But she did studio work of plus size women, and she spent a lot of time talking to us about how she made the environment comfortable and all that kind of stuff. Does that ever cross your thought about any of the people who come in? You know, if they are dealing with doubts about themselves in terms of their body image, or do you work with plus size women? And if so, what's your mindset? And I need to shorten my questions. I do apologize. Like, do you ever give consideration to that in your studio?
You know what? First of all, I don't put women into any categories or parts. They just
Mm-hmm.
text me and book their shoot. Then I see their image. I ask them to send me, just because for me to get prepared what to expect, and to, especially when I was just starting, I
Mm-hmm.
use some references, and depending on the body type or something like that, I could gather some folder. Now I don't do
Mm-hmm.
this because having 20 to 26 sessions per month, you don't need anything anymore. But so
Yeah.
I
Wow.
don't do any folders in my head. But
Mm-hmm.
and my superpower is in that I don't shoot models. Last time I was shooting model, it was 15 months ago. So they kind of see in my portfolio that I do ordinary women without any experience, most of them having their first time in front of the camera. So I shoot different body types, and even my wardrobe in the studio, there are many pieces
Mm-hmm.
for every woman. And I do maternity, and uh, that kind of client, a maternity client, they are dealing with those transformations in their body.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they don't recognize themselves, and they are totally uncomfortable in their bodies. So in such cases, I explain that we do it for the baby. We do it just to mark this stage of your life. For example, guys, I
Mm-hmm.
have 2 kids, and I don't have any single picture of me being pregnant, just because I didn't like myself, and now I regret, because at least I was 20 years younger.
Yes.
Or even like this, chubby, you're
Mm-hmm.
younger. Okay. Uh, and I always explain that if they don't do this, they would regret. And if not,
Mm-hmm.
maternity clients, like ordinary women, they have many doubts. If it's not the weight, it can be skin, hair, whatever. We are always unhappy with who we are. Sometimes we put some mask, but it's still, you can
Mm-hmm.
play the role, or you can admit you have some imperfections. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think they can see what I post on my stories. There are different kinds of women, and anyways, even for a skinny girl, it takes some courage to book a shoot. You have to be prepared, and it has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with the weight. I think at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, it's not the biggest problem. It's something
Yeah.
more. For example, women usually are not ready to spend money on themselves. They can do it as a part of a family shoot for the baby,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, whatever, but not for
Mm-hmm.
herself. She will
Yeah.
usually, I will do it next year. I'll do it. That's why so many clients come to make it as a present to themselves for their birthday. This
Mm-hmm.
happens
Mm-hmm.
more and more, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I like that. When you're so when you have a client in, is it just you and your client, or do you allow partners in, or even do you work with like a hair and makeup artist if you have a certain idea, or what's the studio environment like, and who's all involved in a project?
Client's choice is the most important for me. If they feel more comfortable with their husband being in the studio or makeup artist, I would allow that. But in my experience, there will be another outcome if we get a chance to build this connection, talk, smile, laugh. Sometimes they can cry. The pictures will be different. Everything depends on the goal. Sometimes you want to be like this, and he's um, recording our backstages like, you are my star, something. Maybe this is what she wants, but I would
Okay.
prefer to be always only two of us. And I have a few makeup artists. I recommend them to my clients, and I usually ask, please do your job and then leave before we start the shoot, because it's totally different vibe, different connection. So I prefer to be the only just two of us. And sometimes young professionals, young photographers ask me to assist on the shoots, and I can imagine it's something different.
And
I don't
is that primarily just to keep that relationship
Yeah.
being built? Because I know other people in a studio environment can be almost like a distraction. Yeah. Okay.
It will
That's
be
cool.
a distraction, and those people usually can't keep silent. They always commenting something, and they're getting into this process. And no, I don't like that. I need
Yeah.
to be to build this intimate connection, because yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking like at a wedding in the morning, you've got the bride getting ready and all her bridesmaids around her. The energy there creates certain types of photographs, but then quite often there's some amazing bridal portraits where it's just the bride on her own waiting to go down to the ceremony. So it's just her and the photographer. And those images have a totally different feel from
Yeah,
the
of
ones where
course.
there's people hanging around and contributing and fixing the dress. Like sometimes the bridesmaids are great to get the energy up, but the signs sometimes they're getting in the way. Yeah.
Maybe that's why people choose my portraits, because they have this feeling of drama, some intimacy, vulnerability. And how can you achieve it if there are 5 different people running around? I don't do
Yeah.
campaigns, I don't do brandings where we need every hair to be perfect. No, when they do this, I always say, like, don't worry, we will put on the fan and it will be messy, and this is exactly what we need, because we are lying on the floor, we are doing whatever. I don't know. The studio is a total mess after every shoot. So yeah, the messy, the messy, the better. So I love
Yeah.
imperfections.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
There's I want to talk about your black and white imagery just for a little bit, because I really did enjoy those images in particular of your portfolio, those black and whites. And I know our listeners are going to be like, there he goes again talking about black and white images, but they just they make you feel different for some reason, and I haven't been able to peg it down yet. I don't understand why. And I know why color can affect us. I did I did a university degree, and that was my final project, looking at music and colors and how that changes a person's psyche and emotion and stuff. But black and whites kind of confuse me a little bit, because you're stripping a lot of the information away, yet you are instilling something else, and I haven't been able to put that down. So talk to me your black and whites, and how you work. Well, actually, do you work with digital or do you work with film?
I work with digital, and
Mm-hmm.
choosing black and white aesthetic wasn't my choice.
Oh,
Obviously,
okay.
I was shooting color, then
Mm-hmm.
opening in my computer, and I edit manually
Mm-hmm.
every picture And every time I open each picture, I decide whether I want it to be color and black and white. And it just happened. And almost every picture to me clicked when it's black and white. And
Yeah.
I started doing half of the gallery black and white and half color. And then eventually I ended up doing the entire gallery. And recently I decided not to give any color pictures at all, because
Wow.
this is my choice, and
Uh-huh.
I have a privilege. I appreciate that I'm at the
Mhm.
place where I can choose my client, and that's why, and that's where I can say my rules. If you like it or not, this is
Yeah.
your decision. And but when I started, I did both, like 4 years ago, even 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Now I don't bother at all with uh, uh, color pictures. So maybe
Mhm.
in the next stage will be color. I don't know.
Mhm.
But now
Oh, and that
I'm
is
very happy with this. To me, black and white
yeah.
picture is much more. It's deeper, and
Mm.
it it tells more about the personality rather than the environment and something. Uh, you see the part of the studio where the lounge zone, where we zone, when we sit, drink, talk, we host some events here, workshops, but I shoot in the totally flat black white walls. There is
Uh-huh.
only a wall, one paper wall, and another textured wall. That's it. It's all about a person. There is
Mhm.
no distractions like furniture, couches, those beautiful curtains which
Mm.
other studio have. So this is it. It's only about the person. So black
Yeah.
and white helps me to achieve this deepness, I would say. And again, it
Mm.
wasn't some choice. It's just it came to me naturally. Just every time I click black and white color, and it's like, whoa, no. And I decide to go
Yeah.
with black and white. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
Removing
interesting.
those distractions and like setting yourself some limitations, do you feel that also sort of pushes your creativity with like poses and how to pull out the emotions from a woman?
Yeah, of course, because all attention goes to those details like posing, hands, ears, hair, whatever. It's all about the person. Because
Mhm.
when I was opening my studio, it wasn't. It was kind of risky because I wanted to be successful. I need to rent it out to other photographers, but compared to other studios in Toronto, all of them, like, to me it's over furnished,
Mm.
beautiful couches, chairs, something. And to me, I think it's easier to shoot a client in this environment, because for the eye it's always easier to catch something, right? And when it
Mm.
comes to a bold white wall, you need to understand how the light works, how the body language works, how to pose a client to make the best out of their body, right? So black and white makes you think about the every detail. Um,
Mm.
because I'm very lazy. I don't do Photoshop much, so I prefer to do everything during the shoot, not on my computer. Because when I
Mm.
started as a newborn photographer, I used to spend hours and hours and hours perfecting the picture, because I was like,
Yeah.
so now I can
Y-
show you my raw files. They're like all the same as the final edited result, because
Mm.
yeah, you own the process.
Yeah. That so when I asked about film versus digital, I was kind of surprised because you do have such a film aesthetic. You've done a really
Yeah.
good job of pulling that to your digital. I'm assuming that was the goal, or maybe not to mimic film, but to maybe mimic the emotions, and eventually you got down to a look that was very similar. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think my pictures remind film pictures, and sometimes people approach asking, "What camera do you use? Can you teach me film photography something?" And I say, like, I don't do this. So maybe this will be the next field for me to try. But honestly, there is some uh, bad part of when you become recognizable and you have a lot of clients. You don't have time for creative shoots, and you don't have time to explore something new. When you are young and hungry, you don't have clients, you don't have money. You can explore every. When I just started, I had every week I had 2 creative shoots. Every week, 2 creative shoots. Whatever, on the streets, snowing, raining, and now I won't do this. So
Mm.
for me, I need to find time to explore something new, something.
Mm. Are there any ideas that you have in mind of new creative projects?
Again, I've been working at my own studio for 3 years now,
Mm-hmm.
almost like not every day, because now I come to the studio 2 or 3 times a week and do 2, 3 sessions per visit.
Mm.
And I'm gonna lower it a little bit because 3 shoots in a row with women, it's exhausting. By the end of the day, you don't understand who are you anymore, because
Yeah.
connect to each woman, it takes you. It it takes half of you. So
Yeah.
shooting at your very comfortable, familiar studio makes you very comfortable. Again, I'm repeating the word, but still, to me, doing something new is to push myself to maybe other place,
Mm-hmm.
unfamiliar spaces, maybe, because here I can control everything.
Mm.
Light in any part of the day, whatever can happen, I'm the boss here. And when I travel, I shoot a lot because I always take my camera with me, and almost every trip brings me some clients. It can be
Oh.
Mexico, it can be Barcelona, like last time, Venice. Every time I travel, I just post some reel or just stories on Instagram. I don't advertise myself. I'm not looking for clients, but people see and somehow they approach, and I have a project here and there. And
Mm-hmm.
those situations can make me feel different
Mm.
because you shoot in some another environment you are not used to, some people's apartments, houses, or on the beach. When I just was starting, I was doing newborn photography and
Mm-hmm.
maternity occasionally in Miami, because we lived in Miami. I started on the beach, and then we moved to Canada, and now when I found myself again shooting on the beach, it was strange, uncomfortable, and kind of nervous, because every time you do something new, it doesn't matter how experienced you are,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's cool. What's
When
been
you
the
are in a routine of sort of shooting those sessions where you say maybe there's 3 in a row, how do you manage to? I mean, there's 2 elements to this. How do you manage to not get completely emotionally drained or like creatively in a rut? Like if it is the same, obviously it's your area, you've created that studio, but does it feel a bit repetitive doing it in the same area? when there's a lot in a row?
Repetitive with women? No, you never repeat yourself. For them, they're every client is a unique something. Believe me.
Mm.
You know what? First of all, I never plan to have 3 sessions per day. So how it happens? I plan 2 or 3 visits per week, and I have 2 sessions, and I'm happy and I'm good. But then some maternity client appears, like saying, "I need a," and to me, it's better to have her when she is 26, 27 weeks, or wait until she is 35 and uh, any session become uncomfortable and less effortless, something like this. So sometimes I just add on because I just can't say no, and I need to narrow down because it's energy, a lot of energy consuming. It's difficult. I'm still happy, but yeah, I used to do 5, 6 sessions per week, and I didn't know that it can be different until a photographer who was purchasing my studio, my newborn studio. She used to be a marketing professional, something, and she said, like, "Why are you doing this? Coming 5, 6 times per week to the studio, it's exhausting." And you know me, guys, every session is like a little celebration. I get dressed, I do whatever because I think for them it's something special, and for me it's something special. I'm not a photographer working with leggings and ponytails. I obviously don't have hair for that, but you know. And every time it's something, it's time consuming. Get here, do whatever, and drink champagne 5, 6 times per week. Even being Russian, it's kind of, you know. So, and she said, "Why you do this? You do 2, 3 visits per week, combine 2, 3 sessions, and that's it." And I'm like, really? And when I started doing this, it changed my life because now I just come and now I want to do 2 visits per week with 2 sessions each time. And I need to, to lower it down, maybe raising prices or I don't know, something because it becomes now.
Yeah. When you have a client in, um, even on those times where you have like 3 in a day, um, is your pacing as hectic as it sounds it could be? Like are you feeling rushed at all, or how do you approach even the practical side of directing, posing, shooting? Yeah.
When I was just starting, it took me, my first individual newborn session took me, guys, 6 hours. Poor parents. I
Wow.
had beautiful studio. We will
Mm-hmm.
probably talk later about customer service, and I think this is my superpower. And even though those parents had a fridge full of beer and some drinks, and they had Netflix, but still, it took me 6 hours, and then this is just because I wasn't experienced back then, and every session was unpredictable. Now I can plan, and of course I have some time for that. For example, my minimum package, the smallest one, it's express shoot, lasts 40-45 minutes. Of course, I allow some time for them to, just in case if they arrive later, or another client comes earlier, or I need to have a cup of coffee or something. And but I can plan in advance, and I know how much time it will take me. So now it's impossible for me to get rushed just because I have 3 shoots. No, I plan them. I just start at 10 and I finish at 3 is the latest, because if I leave the studio later than 3, I'll get stuck in the traffic, and I'll
Yeah.
hate my job.
Hey, I'm Ashley from With Jack. and one of the sponsors of the Perspective podcast. With Jack helps to keep photographers in business by supporting them financially and legally if they have problems with a client or they make a mistake in their work. We've all had that fear of our CF card or our hard drive failing and losing important photos. You can find out more at withjack.co.uk. Head over there and find out how we can help you be a confident creative.
Thank you.
You mentioned customer service being your superpower. Talk to me about talk to me about customer service, because it's probably not something that I didn't even think about asking you about that. So yeah, why do you think it's your superpower?
How can you attract clients if you don't have beautiful service? You will attract them only once with your portfolio, but then they experience everything and they will never return if you didn't overwhelm them with something mind-blowing. So I
Yeah.
think why I'm so focused on customer service, I think it comes from me being an immigrant, because when we lived in Miami, we planned to move to Canada, and I knew I couldn't afford just play a photographer game, like to experiment with things. And by the time we moved here, I was fully prepared to open a business, not being a girl with camera, something. I took some courses on marketing, business for creative professionals, and I really focused on bringing beautiful customer service. As I said, it was newborn studio, and first one was at my house. We had walkout, beautiful, huge, high ceiling basement, but still, and it lasted for a year, and then I opened a commercial studio. But anyways, I had a family with a newborn baby, and we shot family pictures at the beginning of the session, and then I started doing a baby itself. And the family, I allowed them to swim in our swimming pool and spend good time with drinks and even some food, just to have fun, to be happy. Of course, they returned and they told about it to every friend they got. So now, obviously, I don't have a swimming pool here, but every time you over deliver in terms of pictures, service, quality, treats, champagne, whatever it can be, those clients won't be able to stay silent. They will eager to tell everyone about you. This is how word of mouth works, I think.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you mentioned kind of returning business, because that's probably the main difference between studio work and wedding work. Like if you have a wedding couple
Returning
coming
client,
back
they
to
divorce.
yeah, something's gone wrong. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I mean the word of mouth thing is great, is really good. It's funny, like for our clientele, a lot of people who fill our books are people coming over from Canada or Americans, and so even the word of mouth doesn't happen as much, but we still like, I still like to feel like when they come over here that we're giving them an experience to remember, even if it's not going to do us any favors, you know? Does that make sense?
You need to do it intentionally. Of course, all of us have a big heart. We want to overwhelm them with beautiful experience, but still you need to be attentive in this. So I
Testimonials. There
know
you
they
go.
will
That's
talk
how it can
about me,
benefit.
and I like it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for, say, not studio-based photographers, but wedding photographers who are remote? They can't have a fridge full of drinks or a TV with Netflix on. What could they do for their couples to go above and beyond and create that experience that you're talking about?
You can give them, for example, certificates when they leave from you. You can give them certificates with some discount or something else, some treatment for them to share with their friends. For example, I have certificates when she's leaving. I give one her. For example, when next time you come to me, you will have $100 off, and this another one for your best friend. So of course she is sharing, and this is a beautiful, silky, very expensive card. Like people won't throw it, and it's a discount. Although I don't do discounts, it's like a $100 certificate towards the shoot, and it makes them think about it. And she is thinking who to choose to treat with my certificate. So these little tricks can work too, but I don't rely on word of mouth. It just happens all the time. It's a combination of me being open to them and loving, make them happy, something, and of course some purpose. Why not?
Where do people find you? Like how are you getting your clients?
Only Instagram. Only Instagram. I have a
Only
website.
Instagram. Wow.
Only Instagram. Yeah, I have a website, but I don't pay attention to it. I don't put a new work there. So I have it, but no, I don't rely on it. Only Instagram, I think, and word of mouth. People talk. For example, after
Okay.
Jennifer, I think was one of the first photographers I ever shot. And now every week I have a photographer coming because she shared
Interesting.
my work, and they come. And I didn't do maternity before, but once I had my first maternity client, they shared, and maternity clients come all the time. So wherever you post, wherever you shoot, people come. Those who you want to attract.
You mentioned earlier that, like, whenever you go somewhere like Barcelona, you'll post a reel and you'll end up getting a couple of shoots from that. And you also said before starting the business, you did a lot of marketing courses and things. What do you have any advice for people on how to maximize their Instagram for attracting jobs in like a new location or even locally actually as well?
I think the biggest problem is that creative professionals don't treat their passion as a business. This is the problem, because being a creative, you always think, oh, I'm so embarrassed to expect money or to even have money in my head, something like purpose. And again, why I told you that the main thing is for me being successful, maybe my background of being an immigrant. I couldn't waste time sitting and thinking, I'm a creative person. I don't know. Maybe someone will book me one day. No, you can't, because you need to do something, and you can't experiment all the time. If this thing doesn't work, you just switch to another one. And this is the main problem. People don't treat it as a business. When you have a business in mind, you do some steps. For example, what would I suggest? If you are just starting out, you are a new photographer, what do? You just get 3 or 4 creative shoots with people looking like the ones you want to attract. no occasional shoots on your portfolio. Nothing like someone's birthday, no cars, no flowers, no cats, nothing like that. You do 3, 4 creative unpaid shoots with beautiful people you want to attract. If you want to do portraits, then do portraits. If you want to do families, then families. With people, only look like those who want to attract. Then you put them on Instagram or your website. You need to pack your account the way for people to understand who are you, what you do, what's the process, how to book you within 3 seconds, because the world now is so fast. We can't afford expecting that someone unfamiliar will spend hours on our website or Instagram account searching for some information. There are a lot of beautiful photographers, and believe me, I'm not the best in this world but yeah, I know where to grow. And but people somehow book all the time. I think getting into my account, they immediately recognizes if I'm their photographer or not. So you need to prepare your offer 3 seconds, and they will understand. This is the first step, I think. And definitely you need to have a few packages with the different prices depending of the amount of pictures included in each of them, right? Because it gives you some freedom. And those clients who can't afford something bigger, they can be your entry clients. They go to the lowest package. This is how I started. And I was doing creative shoots for free until the moment when I realized I can ask a good price for that. I didn't start with low prices. This is my, I don't know, this is my formula. I would never do anything for money, any field, until I'm ready to get good money. So I was
I think that's
constantly
a good point.
shooting. For example, I was her in Miami. I assisted her for 4 months, almost every day for free. By the time I moved to Canada, I of course not maybe one of the best, but I was ready to for my first client with any case, any baby, any family, any pregnant woman, whatever.
Yeah. I'm just while you were talking, I was having a look at your Instagram because I mean, I've checked out, but I know some of our listeners might be thinking, oh, well, you must have a lot of followers to be able to use that as such an impressive marketing tool. And you do have a lot, but it's not maybe as much as people might think to be able to use it as a tool in the way that you're
No,
doing. I mean, for example, you only have, and I say only, I do apologize, 7,326 followers as of right now. So, and our listeners might also be thinking, you know, they've maybe heard that it's not all about the numbers, but they might not believe it. So I'm hoping that in hearing what you've just told them, that they'll kind of maybe they've learned that they've underestimated the potential that Instagram has. Um, so you did mention right off the bat, like being quick off the mark to allow people to book. And if I'm looking here, I mean, you are 100% right at the top in your bio. Um, uh, I'll just read it. Not perfect size, not a model. I'll guide you on your best angles. I'll handle the posing, the outfit choices, and then workshops open DMs for booking. And you've just put, like, you in bold, you've put the word booking. And so you're already establishing in a reader's mind that, oh, this is to book. I can book you and you're available.
I've been working in two totally different fields. And when I was starting newborn photography, it was 9 years ago. Maybe it was easier to gain some audience on Instagram, obviously. But when I started women's portraiture, it was 4 years ago, I think. And I started with 70 followers. And all of them were my friends and family who just followed me to support myself. So this is exactly what I did. I asked I thought I would do couples photography. So I found three beautiful beautiful. Uh, One of those were dancers, another one were I don't know, the ones I wanted to attract. So I did 3 creative shoots and I posted it, and somehow audience started to come. And you you read this
The
the
bio.
words on my the bio. Why is that? Because it answers the most commonly asking questions from my clients. What if I have overweight, or what if I don't know how to pose? If I don't have a perfect dress? And this buyer answers these questions. So with me, it tells that with me, there won't be any problem. I will cover everything. So buyer plays a big role. So you need to build beautiful portfolio out of 3 or 4 shoots. Then you need to make highlights answering questions. What's the process? What's the price? How to book? And everything. And the buyer revealing your superpower and the things which makes you stand out of other photographers. Because go online, open Instagram, and you see most of the photographers write something like, I will make your memories last forever. Oh my goodness, who needs this? I don't want it. My question is, when will the gallery be delivered? So you can tell, like, next day you will get your pictures, or I'll bring the beautiful clothes, or something like that, very specific, and immediately you will attract the right client. So I started with 70 followers, and honestly, it's getting easier and easier. When you get first 1,000, it gets easier, because exactly 2 years ago I had 1,300s, and now it's plus 6,000 somehow. And it gets easier. And of course, you can boost your post on Instagram.
I was actually going to ask you, do you use any Instagram ads, or do you boost posts? Like, what's your approach to that? And including, like, how often do you post work?
But I boosted it last year, and I don't even know which one is boosting. It's obviously boosting something, because people come and say, like, I saw your Instagram ad, and as far as I remember, I have one maternity reel, very short, like 7, 8, 7, 8, 6, 7 seconds.
Oh no. Don't do that to me, Maria. No.
Guys, honestly, I don't know what that is. It's just my kids saying all the time. I don't know what. Maybe is it okay to say it out loud? Even is it something normal?
No, it's nothing rude. It's perfectly normal.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be canceled for something.
Oh no. It's nothing cancelable at all. It's man, how to describe it? It's interesting. It's it's one of these kind of like defining of a zeitgeist for the young. It's like almost
And
like a
even
meme.
explaining this, we are becoming look very old. So don't
Yeah,
let.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I know.
it's a very short video, like documenting your motherhood journey, something like this.
Mm.
8 seconds something, and another one for portrait session, and it's very specific. Like those kind of shots you can get within 30 minutes with me, express shoot, and it brings me clients
Nice.
all the time because it's very specific and particular. People understand what they get. It shouldn't be something like memorizing blah blah blah. So I boost those 2 reels, and I hadn't changed them since like 15, 20 months. I don't remember. It's old. And what was another question? I forgot. You asked me.
How
You asked
often
me
do you
something.
post?
I used to think that I had imposter syndrome, like every work I didn't feel was good enough to post, but now I don't care. I think
Mm.
I'm good enough finally, at least
Oh yeah.
to share my work. But now I still have this perfectionism in terms of the feed, how it looks. And sometimes I have, obviously, having 25 sessions per month, I have enough of work to share, right? But
Mm-hmm.
usually I need some specific, particular eye looking out of the feed, or some ear or something. So, and
Yes.
I always waiting for something that clicks, and I'll post. It happens. I don't plan it. It happens like, oh, I have something, and I try if it works in the entire feed. So then I post it, but not often. But now it's probably a few times a month. But
Mhm.
before it was like 2, 3 months in a row I couldn't post anything because I had those doubts. You know.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now I post, and I don't check even who commented, who liked it. I don't care that much.
Hmm. Yeah. I
Hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
again, I'm going through your Instagram. I enjoyed the vibe of what you're putting out there. Hell, I want to book in for a session, for goodness sake. Yeah. But yeah, no, it looks really
By the
cool.
way,
Just to encourage our
sometimes,
listeners to actually go.
sometimes I get to shoot men, and most of them are DJs, creatives, musicians, actors, but I don't post them intentionally because
Oh,
I don't
okay.
want to
Yeah, of
attract
course.
men. And sometimes you
Yeah.
want to share it because it's beautiful. It's something interesting, and sometimes it's uh, new for me. But I stop myself. I don't do this because I don't want
Mm.
my feed to become like Russian vinaigrette. You know, it's a salad with a million of ingredients. So no.
Yeah.
By the
Do
way,
you find
working with, yeah.
So I was just going to say if you found that hard to do because I mean I obviously I don't know the percentage of like business minded folk to creative minded folk in our industry, but I, for example, would struggle not showing work that I thought was really cool. Even if it was detrimental to my business, I would find that so difficult. So how do you do it? And do you struggle in the same way?
As I said, now I struggle only with this making the choice which one to put. And I have a
Yeah.
lot of other stuff to do, like learning. I do study all the time with something, and uh, operating the studio and everything. So posting
Hmm.
is not my best skill at the moment. So
Yeah.
no, I don't struggle in any way at all, and I
Hmm.
don't even do any social media planning at the moment because guys, every photographer I speak to, they struggles with marketing and something saying
Hmm.
like, I don't know what to do. I'm just a creative person. I don't want to entertain clients in stories or post something meaningful, something. And there is a problem because it feels like you need to adopt a few other professions just to be a successful photographer, right? So,
Yeah.
and I was there, and a couple of years ago, I tried to do everything and listen to some famous bloggers' advices, like you keep the intrigue, you try to make them do this or that, and I just realized I can't do this, and because I respect myself in order to not to do something which I hate and what I don't like. So I decided either I do it my way or I won't do it at all. So I found the only thing I can do. I put the tripod and shot some preparations. As I said, I come to the studio fully prepared, dressed, and everything. So I put some stuff from one part of the studio to another, roll and I roll this paper backdrop, moving my curtains and moving the chairs, getting prepared, and a few seconds of the shoot itself, and I post it in my stories with some music, and it's again 6-7 seconds. So, and this is enough. It makes it enough. Believe it or not, you don't have to dance like a crazy monkey to attract clients, because and somehow I attract people who want me, who wants me. You know, maybe
Yeah.
if I did something more, there will be different kind of clients. So this is enough. I have portfolio. I have a readable, understandable offer. And this is me. And you know what some clients share when they finally come to the studio, that part of their decision to book a shoot was an intention to get to know me, to see me, to meet me in person. So maybe it's not humble to say, maybe it's it sounds kind of strange, but they choose me. And it's
Yeah.
not always about the pictures itself, because they don't do headshots with me. It's something wider, you know? And
Yeah.
that's why we need to stay true to ourselves. I don't want to do in stories or Instagram or whatever channel I have. I don't do something which doesn't represent who I am.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of like doing things that brings you joy and that you love, I'm assuming the sort of educational side of things that you're diving into now is that something that is firing you up at the moment?
You mean, do I do any education right now, like studying?
Teaching. Do you teach
Teaching.
master
Yeah.
classes?
Yeah, I do one-on-one photography workshops in the studio, and the person who books the workshop, it fully tailored to their needs. And we usually do a shoot together with a professional model posing for us, and we meet at the studio, spend an hour together. I explain everything, every detail, how I get prepared, how do I speak to a client, how do I, whatever. And during the shoot, they photograph a model with me and I direct them. And after the model leaves, we sit down and open the gallery on the computer, and I explain everything, why one shot is strong and another one can be not that good. And I do this, and I do online masterclass mentoring, something where usually we cover business side of photography, or I can answer some question about marketing or promoting or attracting clients part, something like this. Or we can see the portfolio and try to rebuild it. This is what I do. And I run photography channel a channel for photographers. It's a Telegram channel. You know, Telegram. Yeah, Telegram is
Yep.
the social media, but it's on Russian language for now. But maybe.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, speaking of portfolio, is now a good time for show and tell, Greg?
Let's do it. Let me pull
All right,
up.
show and tell.
Oh, actually.
I have selected
Naked woman.
according to Greg, according to Greg, far too many images. Now
I
again,
said more
got
than usual. I didn't say too many.
Okay, more than
You
usual.
got carried away.
I tried to keep it to 3, but I have doubled that to 6. Mainly
Where
because
did
I
you
got
get
really
this
excited.
one? Where did you get this one? Is it in my Instagram?
I'm not gonna lie. I did these a while ago when I got
A while
when
ago.
you said
Yeah.
when you said you'd coming
Yeah,
on the podcast. I just went in on a deep dive, so it might well
No.
be your
I mean,
website.
it's not one of the one of I send you, right? It's something you found. Okay.
I think it was in that folder that you sent us.
There might be someone's from that folder as well in this, if this one
Oh.
wasn't. But
Okay.
so yes, this first one, it's the point of view that I really enjoyed for this. Now, I guess I just assumed in a studio there wouldn't be as much creative license as maybe one would expect. So for me, when I go into any wedding and I go into a room, the first thing I look for is like reflections, glass, anything that's reflective, to be honest, or anything that I can make a silhouette out of, because I almost like to hide. Or at least confuse the viewer as much as possible in a shot. And this kind of was a representation of that for me, which I didn't. I mean, obviously, I know you could do that at any point, but for studio work, I just assumed you probably wouldn't have this opportunity, knowing that. Well, you described your studio as quite bare, so I really did enjoy that. Plus, this is just a beautiful, like very intimate moment here, and with that voyeuristic point of view, I just found myself just looking at this for a long time actually, and really enjoying it. Can you tell me about this project and why you made this image?
This picture was taken during my trip to Moscow to visit my
Oh, okay.
family, and it was a motherhood session. We had only 1 hour, and the studio was located in a very, very old mansion in the center of Moscow, and the studio was dark. And as far as I remember, we were leaving. We are almost done with the shoot, and we were leaving. And I was probably going out of the door and turned back and saw that they are standing. As far as I remember, because it's through the doors. It's not the window. It's the door, and yeah, they were very connected, and this is still one of my favorite shots. Yeah,
Mm,
I love it.
yeah.
And
I suppose.
you can see it's in color. Now I don't do this.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's the thing
And
about having this
by the way,
conversation is.
light was beautiful that day.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's funny because we'll get onto a few of your images, obviously, and some of them are color. So I was kind of surprised to hear that you only shoot black and white, and I found a good amount of color. So let's move on to the next one. Okay.
Yeah,
So I remember.
it's the same studio.
Oh,
A day.
okay.
It's the same studio a day
Right.
before. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, this is making more sense to me because in my head, when you were saying that your studio was more minimalistic, I was thinking about this studio and not quite being that way in the way that you
But
described it. So
listen.
that
If you remove, see the wall behind her. If you
yeah.
remove those paintings, I don't see that clearly, and put
Mhm.
some mirror there, or some curtain, something, it will have this almost the same effect. It's still
Okay.
minimalistic to me, because
Yeah.
it's not about the furniture. And I have a couch in this
Mhm.
studio, and I have different beautiful uh, chairs. So I use some furniture. It's not like people hanging
Yeah.
without anything. So I use it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I really like this image. There was a sadness for me. And that was the one thing I felt when I look at this image. But from your point of view, what were you trying to create? How are you trying to make the viewer feel? Yeah.
I think everything starts from the personality of a client or a model. If I see a
Mm,
beautiful body, I immediately have the idea, how can I place it in a space to make it work, to show it,
mhm.
right? If she
Yeah.
had a different body, maybe, or different personality, I would have another idea. So everything starts with a person.
Yeah.
I don't think I had some specific idea for this shoot, like I'll be after this mood, something. No, it
Mm,
usually starts with we meet, and then I see, and I just, sometimes it happens at the middle of the shoot. Sometimes at the beginning I don't know where are we getting. I
mm.
just start, explore, and see, because people are so unpredictable. You can start with one mood, 10 minutes after, and something clicks, and people change.
Yeah.
So
You know, you joked that I would pick a picture of a naked woman, and there's one thing about nude individuals being photographed, and it's the comparison that I think not enough men understand is the male gaze versus the female gaze. And obviously your point of view as a woman, you your take on the body and the pose and everything just has a very artsy, like just an artistic point of view. And yeah, I don't know, I just, there's something about that point of view that I really just enjoyed about your work in general. And by the way, male listeners, if you don't know the difference between a male gaze and a female gaze, go research it, because not enough of you know, and it's embarrassing. Anyway, Greg, next image, because I have a funny feeling it's from
Well,
the
I
same
was just going to
project.
ask, like,
Oh,
what you
sorry.
were saying about when you see a person, you have an idea of how you might make them, like, pose them or set them up. Is that something that you feel you can teach another photographer, or is that something that you just need
no,
to have? And
no, guys. There are some rules, and with any body type, there are some rules that will make this body look longer, thinner, more sophisticated somehow. So you need to understand how to place it. Like any other object in the space, you can control it. You understand. For example, okay, doesn't matter. Yeah, of course, there are some rules, and
Mhm.
the skinnier, probably more, mm, more chances, more variety of poses you can explore, right? Yeah, the posing is controlled by a photographer.
Mhm.
yeah,
So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Next image, Greg, because this I'm pretty right. So, am I right in saying that this is the same project?
yeah.
Okay. Um, again, another color, which which is nice,
Guys,
but definitely
it was 3 years ago.
okay. Um, uh, definitely a different point of view what were you trying to say in terms of this image? Why did you leave it in color? And also like the motion with the blur, like what were you trying to pull out with this image here?
Some mystery,
Mm-hmm.
some drama, vulnerability, something. This is the girl was having this look which wanted me to make something alien out of her. How to say this? Yeah, this is everything comes from from a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
How?
experimenting with camera settings back then, so I used to do
Yeah.
this blurry effect back then. Now I just with clients you don't do this that often because
Mm-hmm.
for example I have 3 packages and the smallest one includes 8 pictures and there are
Yeah.
no chance they will choose something like this
Mm-hmm.
out of 8 if they have 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So
I
on
mean,
that
I
point there,
love I love the
then
motion.
with your packages, are you delivering just 8 images, or are you delivering a gallery of maybe 20, 30, and they can download only 8? Like, how does it work technically there?
Of course not. Of course they get to see much more, not much. And I don't show unedited work. I don't show raw files. They see fully edited by hand by me, picked by me work. Like if it's a small package with 8 pictures included, they will see 15 to 20 and they
Mm-hmm.
can choose their 8 favorites or purchase the additional ones. And they usually do. And the same with the middle package. And they see it online. And the biggest package, premium one, it includes prints and frame prints and backstage video, behind the scenes video from the shoot. So it
Oh,
attracts
interesting.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What's the platform that you use to deliver your images?
Technically, I am not the one who changed their equipment or apps. So I've been using Shootproof for about
Okay.
like since I just started, like 9 years something. Maybe something better exists now. I don't know. I just didn't explore, and it's still beautiful. It has some music, and I have
Hmm.
different choices depending on the gallery and the emotion I wanna get for the client. Sometimes
Hmm.
it's like, ooh, and they're crying and texting.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah, I
happy.
like that. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. Do you are you sending the video as well on Shootproof? Is that something that it does as
No,
well?
no, because the
No.
video is included only in the biggest package, and I edit it and I just send them a link. They
Oh,
download
okay.
it. No,
Hmm.
it's not
Okay,
through
cool.
Shootproof.
Okay, let's look at the next image, Greg.
It's
Ah,
Jennifer.
yeah.
It's Jennifer.
Is that
Is it
Jennifer?
really?
Yeah.
Ah, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. You know, that's actually so. Okay, so this is funny because in our
I
conversation
can
with
see it now that you
Jennifer,
say that.
No,
yeah,
I'm not sure about Jennifer, but usually clients don't choose the images, and you guys probably agree with me, the ones which we choose, right? Because I'm so sorry, something happening in the next unit.
that's okay.
So I don't remember, and I think I cropped it like this before posting. Yeah, I don't think
Hmm.
it was the picture delivered to the in the gallery delivered to Jennifer, I think. And
Okay.
now now I like that a lot.
Yeah. So the reason I find this kind of funny is because in our conversation with Jen, we were doing show and tell with her as well, and she has these kind of aggressive crops, um, and this actually reminded me of one of her images because of the subtext that she likes to try and aim for. And so it had that similar vibe. So it's so funny that this is actually Jennifer. Why did you crop it like this? Because it's an interesting crop.
Because it gave me some emotion. I
Mm.
remember experimenting on the gallery, looking for some angles because, again, I needed some shots, some close up, because just to make my feed look more attractive, some, close ups, uh, smaller, different angles. And I was looking for something like that. And when I just did it, it clicked, and it gave me some emotions. To me, this picture is much more interesting and deeper than the first one shot in the first place. So
What was the emotion that you felt when you discovered this?
I think it's something very deep, emotional, vulnerable, and maybe even lonely something. What do you think? Because I think everyone can find something belongs to themselves here. I don't know.
Yeah. For me, there's like a piece to it, but like you said, like there's a loneliness to it as well. So I'm not entirely sure. Somewhere between the loneliness and the peace, does she feel content in the loneliness? I'm not sure, but it's definitely somewhere in there for me. But yeah,
At
I
the
like
end
it.
of the day, it attracts attention. This is what we need, because
Yes.
there are a lot of beautiful photographers and creatives and professionals, and that kind of picture, it stands out. You may not like it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. I don't even think about it. It's just it grabs attention, and it's good.
It
And
does.
then people maybe will continue scrolling your feed and looking for something else. But
Yeah.
again, it's not a client's choice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But if
Right.
it was me,
Next.
I would hang the picture like this at my home.
Yeah,
This,
I would as well.
Yeah.
I would as well, 100%. Yes. So we've changed image. We're now onto quite a well. To me, I felt this was a very powerful black woman here. But in her own right, not as if she's not gazed upon. Like she's just there existing with herself. But still quite powerful but vulnerable. That's why I like this. Now, I think the next image as well is another take on this shoot, I think, but we'll stay with this one for the minute. What were you trying to convey with this project here, if you can remember?
again, everything starts with the person. She's a dancer. She used to be a dancer. Now she's a photographer, by the way, and she's very
Oh, okay.
comfortable in her body. And this
Mm.
a total game changer. When a woman
Yes.
comfortable inside her body, it's something you can't get your eyes off. You are like, and I become just a provider, just a witness here, and that's why every shoot is different. Depends on the person comes through the door. Sometimes I'm in a role of entertaining, guiding, directing, and doing 90% of the shoot. But sometimes it's totally different, and she owns the space, and I just don't breathe, and I'm like, so I think this was one of those. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
enjoying herself, her body, and everything. Of course, I suggested a few things. For example, grab this fabric, or what is it? Some linen fabric. It was at the studio, and that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. So moving on to the next one, Greg, because this one I think is from the same project. Now, this one was kind of interesting because it was a black and white, but there is actually a little hint of blue, I think. It wasn't fully black and white, but tell me about this image. First of all, is this the same project?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's the
So
same project, same day, and yeah, the same
yeah.
chair and
Okay.
everything. Yeah,
Because
it's just
a
some
completely
editing.
different vibe.
Yeah, because
Um.
they
mm,
all were edited the way the previous image was edited. This all were the same, and I just re-edited this one later. Not only this one, there were a few of them, and I posted them later, like
mhm.
a different series. And yeah, I wanted some vintage vibe, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's why this is so different from me. I mean, you've even got the white vignette around the edges, as if it's one of those old black and white medium format images, from a studio. That kind of old timely image, and I really like
Mm.
that about it. But totally different vibe.
Yeah,
What made you go the difference here?
I think recently I started experimenting with some editing because I'm looking for some new vibe, as you said.
Yeah.
Mm, and I specifically love this session. And I had like
Uh,
60 different beautiful images. And it's bad that you can't share everything, because
yeah.
used to be blocked on Instagram for that kind of pictures and even more. Somehow, surprisingly, almost every woman wanna undressed by the end of the shoot, and I have a lot of beautiful pictures, but I can't share them. And Instagram used to be very harsh on me on this matter,
Mm,
and there were times like I couldn't get out of a ban for the few months in a row. I couldn't do anything, so now I'm very careful.
wow.
And
Mhm.
I just opened uh, this shoot, and I don't remember. It just started doing something with this. Maybe I didn't plan to get this particular vintage look. I was just
Mhm.
adjusting
Yeah.
something, and yeah, somehow, and just boom. And honestly, I would do every shoot like this now, but
Mm.
it's kind of risky because you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
very client oriented,
Mm.
and doing creativity and art out of every shoot in this way, it's unpredictable. You can end up being just admired, and that's it.
Yeah.
without
Yes.
without bookings.
Yeah. No.
But honestly,
I
I would do this kind of editing to every picture now. I love it. I just
mhm.
love. Maybe it's just recently. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's
No, I love
temporary.
it. Yeah, and it looks great on. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw this on Instagram, and I do remember thinking, "Oh, that looks great in the feed." So, yeah, no, I really like it. Really like it. Um, but that brings us to the end. I suppose. Well, I'll let Greg ask the last question.
Well, normally it's book recommendations, but I'm thinking
Oh.
they might not still be relevant. But you mentioned you did a lot of courses when you were starting out. Is there any course nowadays that you'd recommend for people to, or maybe not a course, like a resource that people could check out to learn about their business or customer service or creativity?
There is one actually. When I was starting, I discovered Creative Life. Guys, about this?
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge platform with many
Mhm.
speakers and in different fields. marketing in photography, business photographer, advertising in photography, making, and there are some technical courses or some courses delivered by well-known photographers and artists. So I spent countless amount of hours on this platform. So this is where it started, and now I don't do any courses on business related topics. What I do is if I feel stuck in something, I just get one-on-one consultation online with some photographers who vision I believe, and I I usually ask their opinion and just to improve in some particular area. This is what I do. And this is what I recommend to everyone. Yeah. Because it
Yeah.
gives
Cool.
you support and vision and opinion you are ready for. I don't care about someone else's opinion, someone I don't I don't know. But the ones who are successful and do something you want to do too in the future, it's beautiful to have this opportunity and to be able to pay for it for this advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Very nice. So definitely go check that out if you're in the need for some more education or inspiration. Thank you very much for joining us, Maria. Where can people find you online?
You mean my Instagram?
Yeah.
Your Instagram, your website?
It's maria.nomad.com, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the Instagram is I don't remember. Is it one word or two words? Maria Nomad, and that's it. Yeah.
I was
It's very
on
easy.
it earlier. Hang on, why don't I know
I
this?
think it's got a dot. I want to say it's got a dot.
Maria.nomad. Yes, it does.
It's
It does.
good.
So yeah, listeners, go check her out on Instagram. Yeah. And that brings us to the end. So thank you very much, Maria. People can find us at Perspective by Cinemate.com. Our Instagram is at Perspective by Cinemate. Thank you to Jack and Pick Time for sponsoring this episode. And if you have liked this conversation, do hit subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We are also on YouTube, so youtube.com/@ Perspective by Cinemate, or like I said, wherever you get your podcasts. And hopefully we'll see you in the next episode. However,
In the meantime,
enjoy your life.